Icon Audio Arts.
The Life of the Buddha, The Lost Teachings. Written by Jagannath Das and the Icon Players. Narrated by Jagannath Das and the Icon Players. Copyright 2020, Icon Audio Arts.
One of the mandates of Icon Audiobooks is to introduce and in some cases reintroduce people of all generations to the inspirational, classical, spiritual literature of the ages. The following audiobook falls into that very select and important category. Here you will find ageless wisdom, timeless truisms, and unbounded inspiration. From the ancient Hindu text, the Bhagavad Gita, to the voluminous Vedas, the teachings of great saints like Meher Baba, Paramahansa Yogananda, Bhaktivedanta Swami, Khalil Gibran, and Ram Dass, to the humble parables of Jesus, the Prophet Muhammad, may peace be upon him, as well as avatars such as Sri Krishna, Rama, and the Buddha. Icon casts the net wide to include the greatest insights of the ever-expanding spiritual universe. As an old Incredible String Band song goes, may the long-time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way home. I'm Jagannath Das.
Chapter 1. Introductory. A well-known missionary of Peking, China, was invited one day by a Buddhist acquaintance to attend the ceremony of initiation for a class of 180 priests and some 20 laity who had been undergoing preparatory instruction at the stately and important Buddhist monastery. The beautiful courts of the temple were filled by a throng of invited guests and spectators, waiting to watch the impressive procession of candidates, acolytes, attendants, and high officials, all in their appropriate vestments. No outsider was privileged to witness the solemn taking by each candidate for the priesthood of the vow to keep the 10 laws, followed by the indelible branding of his scalp, truly a baptism of fire. Less private was the initiation of the lay brethren and sisters, more lightly branded on the right wrist, while all about intoned Na Ma Pen Shi Shi Chia Mu Ni Fo. I put my trust in my original teacher, Sakyamuni, Buddha. The missionary was deeply impressed by the serenity and devotion of the worshippers, and by the dignity and solemnity of the service. The last candidate to rise and receive the baptism of branding was a young married woman of refined appearance, attended by an elderly lady, evidently her mother, who watched with an expression of mingled devotion, insight, and pride her daughter's initiation, and welcomed her at the end of the process with radiant face, as a daughter now in a spiritual as well as a physical sense. At that moment an attendant, noting the keen interest of the missionary, said to him rather flippantly, "Would not you like to have your arm branded too?" "I might," he replied, "just out of curiosity. But I could not receive the branding as a believer in the Buddha. I am a Christian believer. To be branded without inward faith would be an insult to your religion as well as treachery to my own, would it not? Is not real religion a matter of the heart?" The old lady, who had overheard with evident disapproval the remark of the attendant, turned to the missionary at once and said, "Is that the way you Westerners, you Christians, speak of your faith? Is the reality of religion for you also an inward experience of the heart?" And with that began an interesting interchange of conversation, each party discovering that in the heart of the other was a genuine longing for God that overwhelmed all the artificial, material distinctions and the human devices through which men have limited to particular and exclusive paths their way of search, and drew these two pilgrims on the way toward God.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?